Just like the last episode, this one is going to be a little more on the esoteric side. And again, when it comes to such things, I will always invoke the ghost of Rod Serling of the Twilight Zone when he says at the beginning of every episode, submitted for your approval. Again, take the content in this episode for what it's worth and do with it whatever you like. Back in episode 10, we explored the symbolism behind the number 10. And in this episode, we're going to take a deeper dive into this subject because the number 10 is also closely connected to a circle. Again, there are many references to this, and for the sake of time, I'm just going to pick a few. So without further ado, here is how the number 10 and the circle are connected. In Mayan culture, the number 10 was the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another. It was regarded as the number of both life and death. A cycle is a circle. In Hebrew, the number 10 represents a completed cycle. Again, a cycle is a circle. There are many references that take on the same theme. Again, this is another one that is ubiquitous. So with that said, what are the circles in the film? Well, the obvious one is that I draw a circle on a map to unwittingly start a decade-long journey. Really, when I first did it, I didn't think too deeply into this. It was just a thought experiment, and it opened my mind to a new experience. I never anticipated how it would be tied to what would follow. This is where the main circle opens, and we witness the caregiving and deaths of both of my parents. And if you look close, there are a bunch of mini story arcs within that. The decade-long storm concludes, and all the storylines within that find a conclusion. And so that circle closes and allows the opening of a new one. And so for the rest of the film, a new circle opens up when I revisit that map to complete the unfinished journey. This old circle is new again and becomes the road trip to redemption that takes place over that 8-day period. Within this new circle, what was unfinished now becomes finished. While the first circle brings about death and destruction, this second circle balances this out and brings about redemption, closure, and rebirth. But that's not where it ends. There are other circles in the film. Let me show you. The entire film itself is a circle. It starts with me walking on a road, then in a car, then in a studio to begin the story. The film ends with me in a studio, then in a car, and then walking on a road. And lastly, a flash of light brings you into the story, and a flash of light takes you out of it. And so the film began as it ended, and ended as it began. Did you notice it when you watched the film, or are you just noticing it now? And that is how circles were incorporated into the film. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the gift of your time.